random side note. Shout out to Genuine for getting that sink bag.
Hey, yo.
Don't worry, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, there's not.
Oh my god.
Watch out, drops ain't going for the switch. I just wanna power for a miss.
What is up? This is Those Indie Geeks. My name is Q.
I'm just raised.
It's your boy Prodigal.
And here we talk about all things geeky from our little perspective, every little nook and cranny. In a fist fight, who's winning? Daredevil or Nightwing?
That's disrespectful. Wow.
Why is that disrespectful?
Who is honking?
Who's got a horn?
Who is honked?
Somebody outside of my house, apparently.
Who you got? Daredevil, Nightwing. Who you got?
Nightwing or Daredevil? Ooh, well, is it? Well, if we go on comic books, I'm going Daredevil.
Word.
Because he has a lot more different abilities now.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair though, what are the only depictions of Nightwing that we have seen? The one on Titans, that trash heap of a show. It's trash.
If we're talking live action,
yeah, I mean, I guess the only way you can really compare is just comic books and animated. That's basically it.
I mean, he's had several animated adaptations. He's had way more animated adaptations than live action.
This is
For
true.
sure. For sure.
Who you got, Prodigal?
I'm actually, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with Nightwing, so that's why I'll just go with Daredevil.
Robin.
I'll always go with Daredevil. Well, I know who it is. I'm just saying, like, I haven't, like... I know
Robin.
who it is, but no, I'm saying,
So
like,
you are
I just,
familiar with him. You just
I am
don't
familiar,
favor.
yes, but I'm not like, I'm not deep into the lore or whatever, and like, I feel like I just, I like Daredevil a lot more.
I
so.
genuinely got Nightwing, and here's why.
Uh-huh.
Here's why. I genuinely got Nightwing. Number one, he doesn't have the same weaknesses as Daredevil. Like, all Nightwing really needs is, like, a sonic interrupter thing. Because he's already got the skills, the athletic ability, the arsenal, and the training to be able to take down somebody like Matt. And he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm vying for Nightwing, but I know how OP Daredevil is in the comics, so it's almost like, what do you do? He's way more OP in the comics than he is in that show, and that's just because comics.
So you're still going?
Nightwing?
Nightwing?
Yeah, Nightwing. I feel like Nightwing will pull a victory. I mean, if you think about it, it's definitely more. It would remind me of, like, since we're talking about Thunderbolts, I'm gonna go ahead and bad segue into that.
Yeah,
like
make
the
that
fight
segue.
scene that they had. The fight scene that they had when Valentina drew him to all. And sorry, spoiler alert. I know we don't care about spoilers here, but look, we need to start telling people. But
did we say we were talking about Thunderbolts?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It was the bad segue that you now ruined. No, I'm just But no, when Valentina had trapped everybody in their little compound thing, and they were going at it. That's what, to me, a Nightwing versus Daredevil fight would look like. Like, just ridiculous skill, and nobody really tagging anybody, but somebody's gonna get that one bullet to the head, and we all know who that was. were we surprised?
Rest in peace, Taskmaster.
Were
we
surprised at the bullet in the head to Taskmaster? I just laughed, and I don't know if that was a proper reaction.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is. Like, I feel like even. I don't know. Like, I really feel bad as to, like, how the character of Taskmaster has been handled with MCU. Like, it's just, it's really tragic, to be honest. Like, Black Widow. Okay, like, I could make my peace with the fact that, they made Taskmaster a woman and, like, different origin story, whatever, all those things, right? Like, I can make my peace with it, but it wasn't a compelling enough villain in the movie itself. Like, it just wasn't. It just didn't really work.
The character themselves didn't work because it wasn't a fleshed out version of the character.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But getting rid of her, the way they did in the Thunderbolts was just like downright disrespectful. I honestly feel like because there were already rumors coming out that Taskmaster's not going to survive, and I guess we were all expecting it, but the way that they took her out was just like very sudden. I don't know if like Kevin Feige or Marvel has like a problem with the actress or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they still have her going around for promos and press and all these different things.
I mean,
they have her.
Not after the fact though. Not after the fact though. I haven't seen her in any recent one.
They did, because when they did the new Avengers reveal off the poster, when they did the rip,
she was there.
She was there.
I mean, she's in the movie, guys.
For like
for 2 seconds,
5 seconds of like showing her face, and then
she's
30 seconds overall.
She was killing it though. That's the thing. She was killing it though. She was killing it. She had the shield, and the shield was it. The costume looked better. Like
I don't know, man. I felt like Marvel has a grudge with that actress or something. I don't even know. But anyway,
they showed her
I don't think
face
they have a
too.
grudge with the actress. I just feel like they caught. I just feel like they caught so much flack for the portrayal of Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Because originally, if I'm not mistaken, when they were in production for Black Widow, originally it was supposed to, like, the pictures and set photos that they had of Taskmaster was like a dude in the suit. And it was supposed to be the black dude in Black Widow that was supposed to end up being Taskmaster originally. But then they ended up switching it.
I don't remember that. Look that up, Prodigal. Prodigal's our man in the chair.
No, sorry. So what am I looking up? Sorry, I'm still looking at tickets.
Look up the original Black Widow villain. Black Widow movie villain. Original Black Widow movie villain. Desiree says that it was supposed to be the black dude originally.
From my knowledge,
are you talking about the friend that flew the? Okay.
It was supposed to be him originally, but then they ended up switching it like in the middle of them shooting.
Interesting. I'm not seeing that.
Either
but like
in the middle of them shooting or like right when they went into production, they ended up switching the idea.
Oh wait, so was that like? Because I had seen tweets. Was that the same actor who was saying like he was supposed to be Taskmaster?
The black dude.
Yeah, he said he was gonna play the actor play the character with like an African accent or something like that. I don't even know. He said something.
Wakanda?
I don't know about that. But.
No. Not Wakandan, no. But like, I don't know, some other African accent. But I don't know. That's what. I gotta find that tweet. But yeah,
I feel like because they caught so much flack with that, they were just like, you know what? I feel like Marvel's kind of in like a spot where it's just like, you know what? Y'all didn't like when we tried to be experimental, so bump it. We getting rid of all the experimental stuff, and we just gonna give y'all straight fan service and nostalgia.
That's a good thought pattern to assume, possibly, but also no, because Sentry in itself is kind of experimental too. They haven't tackled the way that character is and his background and all that stuff. They haven't really tackled that in the movies. At least in a while, if they've done anything serious in the movies, like they haven't tackled a character like that, and for him to be like one of the upfront stars in the movie, like that's still pretty experimental in itself. Like they've never had a meth head as a. Sorry, we're probably gonna have to bleep that out. They've never had
brother
an
was a meth
addict.
head.
You know, he said it.
He said it multiple times.
He was looking for that sweet sugar.
The book.
Not the booger sugar.
Not the booger sugar.
Not the booger sugar.
He was looking for that sweet.
Hey, yo, what was that? Hold up.
I ain't no meth made you do all that now.
I don't know about all that, man.
I don't know what you do on meth. I'm like the least qualified to tell you what happens when you're on meth. Like, I don't know what meth makes you do.
And so that segues into our guests for today are the methies. I found a guy who does meth. No, so I found the quote from the actor O.T. Fagbenley. I don't even know how to say his name, but he basically said, I first auditioned for Taskmaster and it was a really incredible speech. Actually, it was an audition that I was very proud of. I've still got it in the back place, someplace. The actor added that he made him with an African accent. And he was this kind of maniacal-like character. So, yeah.
Well, that's kind of how Taskmaster is in the comics.
Low
So
key.
that would have been like a perfect adaptation.
Yeah, but they changed
Sarcastic and
it.
maniacal.
But I mean, overall,
They
though, like,
gotta change.
I guess.
I don't feel like Taskmaster is going to be gone as a character, but I feel like
No.
this iteration of Taskmaster is going to be up out of here.
Somebody's gonna pick up the
obviously,
mantle.
He's up out of here.
Somebody's gonna pick up the mantle.
I think that's the whole point of it. They will definitely bring that mantle back up. But I mean, again, like, what are y'all's initial thoughts on the Thunderbolts movie? Do you think, because the hype around Thunderbolts got a lot, like, especially after those early screenings and like people's early reactions were coming out, like the hype just even like it got even bigger, Do you think it met that hype? Did y'all fall for it, or were you guys just like, I'm just gonna temper my expectations and just go in with an open mind? Because for me, yeah, y'all go ahead. I ask a question. Go ahead.
I didn't care, and here's my thing. I stopped caring, and this is the only reason I stopped caring, because anytime something had like too much hype, it would always be kind of mid to me. And anytime something didn't have enough hype, it seemed to be like the best thing that has come. Like, and that's just the thing. People were overhyping it a little bit too much for me. So at first I wasn't as on the fence. Like, I was like Just Ray's, like, this movie. Just Ray said in a earlier episode, if you guys go back, that Thunderbolts is gonna be his pick for, like, movie of the year as far as Marvel is concerned. And
I said it was gonna be my sleeper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same thing. You did say that afterwards, but you don't remember. It's cool. Like, it definitely. I don't think it's a sleeper. I think it's a smash. So, and to that respect, I think personally, going into it not caring was the best thing for me, because I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy this movie regardless, because it's characters that we enjoy. It looks awesome, even just from like the trailer that they gave it. They didn't give us way too much the first time around, trailer wise. So I was like, okay, let's go into this. Not really expecting much. I didn't expect much from the Sentry character, just because Bob is super ridiculously OP in the comics. And I was just like, alright, cool. They're going to bring another character over and dwarf him. They did not dwarf him. And I was actually pretty surprised at how much they didn't dwarf him. So I was all like, okay, let's rock. So, after seeing it, I was like, I'm sold. Because like I said, we already like these characters. They did their job. They came in, and each one of those guys individually made it like magic from the time the movie started till it like, there was no real dull moments, and everybody wasn't gonna have the same amount of time as like Yelena, right? Or Red Guardian, or even Bob. I was surprised Bob had so much screen time, to be honest with you. But like, at the same time, I think Taskmaster was honestly the sacrifice for that. Like, since they didn't have to deal with that other character, it was just like, okay, now we can really flesh out these other characters, and what have they been up to? What have they been thinking? What have they been doing? Bucky, I feel like, could have done a little bit more. I just being an OG, I expected him to do a little bit more, but I understood from the aspect of, okay, we're taking our cues from these characters who really haven't done that much. Bucky's been in he's been in every single movie, I think, since phase 1. Almost every single movie. There's a few that he's not in, but he's been in every single phase. So that is,
he's been in like the
crazy.
Major plot points for all the phases.
Since he came in,
because most of them
came
dealt
in.
with super soldier stuff.
Right. So he's an OG for sure. So like, I think that's definitely something that I was just like, I don't need to see, like, even that scene where, like, when they went into the void and like they were going through their worst memories or their worst moments in their life, we didn't need to see Bucky's because we know where he's been at.
And that was
you know?
the joke. That was the
exactly.
how funny that was, y'all. No, I was great. I was the great person.
I saw a couple people point that out like it's a fault, and I'm just like, bro, just go back to literally anything else in the MCU, where he's in it. You can see it.
That stuff happen.
We've seen Bucky's whole backstory through multiple films.
Yeah, so like we don't need another rehashing of that. And I think
I laughed so loud when that happened. He was just like, "Oh no, my life was perfect. It was great. I had no."
I think it's funny that like you're bringing up the humor, because I think that's something that when I was going into the movie, I was just like, I don't want it to feel like Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
You know,
that's a different kind of comedy, though.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. But I didn't want it to feel like that going in, because it's like, again, think about it. It's like a team of misfits coming together to to operate under maybe a threat, or maybe like their own lives at risk, like coming into this mission. So like if they don't do something, they'll get killed, kind of thing. That's what the synopsis was in my head. So I was just like, I hope it's not like Suicide Squad, like the dumb
the only
like
one
the
who
MCU-fied version of Suicide Squad. I didn't want to do
the only one who had like a bomb was Sentry, right? So she just tried to kill everybody else by regular means.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's part of it. When I was like, when we were watching it, I was just like, yo, like, I was also scared that the humor would get really campy or like really corny, as MCU movies can tend to do. And
they have
it was
last couple phases. Yeah,
but it was not like that at all. Especially when you have characters like U.S. Agent and Yelena and all these characters, and they lean into their darkness, and I think that was something that was like really refreshing to see. And I'm glad that they didn't go obviously the humor came in the right times, and it didn't feel overdone, it didn't feel forced, and that was perfect, And so I think that was something that was really appreciated, and
the emotional parts came in at the right time too, because when Red Guardian was talking to Yelena, bruh, under that scaffolding thing, like when they were talking, and she was just all like, "Daddy, I don't know what to do," and I was just, I was like, "No, you're not crying in a Thunderbolt."
She said, "Daddy, I'm all alone." She said, "Daddy,
I was all like,
I'm
I
all
don't know
alone."
what
I was
to
just
do
like,
with my
wow,
feelings.
like, I was like, that was great acting. That was like good chemistry right there too between her and David Harbour. Like they really acted the hell out of that scene.
Just Rays, because he did note this. He was the only one of us that really noted this as his sleeper. What are your thoughts?
I was just gonna let y'all get y'all stuff off. But for me, I was shocked that Taskmaster died when she died. I just figured they was gonna have Sentry tear her apart. I didn't know she was gonna go out that quickly.
That would have been way more brutal.
I mean, but
you watch too much Boys.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at what they did with it. That whole opening fight scene with them all going up against each other was fire to me. And it was dope because it made me forget how dope Ghost fight scenes were. Like, this movie made me forget how dope Ghost fight scenes were. It made me forget
it made me remember how dope John Walker is. Like, we forget just because he's a douche, like, he's actually still a super soldier. Like, and he's a trained super soldier at that. Okay. All right. I'm just because I'm saying, because I know everybody feels a way about John Walker, but he's still dope.
He's still dope. I love Wyatt Russell as an actor. I hate John Walker as a character.
What do you hate about
he's doing a good job.
Wait, what do you hate about
a good job?
What do you hate about the character?
I know what you hate about him. He's a dude.
Which I like. I think it's well warranted. Like, dude was a war hero, right? Like, he was well decorated. And so he had that arrogance.
Sympathizing with the U.S. agent.
He had that arrogance, which I feel like was like, I don't know, it just fits him. It just fits.
So hear me out. What I'm saying is Wyatt Russell is doing an incredible job playing U.S. agent, but because he's playing U.S. agent. U.S. agent isn't likable. Like he's supposed to be a jerk. Like he's supposed to be,
and he's playing it perfectly.
That's what I'm saying. He's playing him perfectly. Like, even in the comics, U.S. agent isn't likable. Like
that's
he's
where
a
I'm
jerk.
just like I like those. I like douchey characters. Let's say that.
What does that say about you?
It's so funny to me. Nothing. It says nothing about me. It just means that I appreciate a certain kind of character.
But one thing I will say is to me, something that they proved in this movie that they haven't, I don't know if they've proved, well, no, I can say that they proved in this movie that they haven't proved throughout the MCU's tenure. So yes, this was my sleeper, but the thing that they proved was that they can make characters from TV work in film.
Mm-hmm.
Because U.S. Agent came from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yelena, she started in Black Widow, but also did Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And it's just like these different characters that we've seen on the TV side still give you all the personality, still give you all the character, still give you all the work.
I have one word to that though, because
what?
Just because they were in the TV show doesn't mean they were TV show actors. Like,
boom,
everybody that they've hired to play a particular character, they may have chops there, they might not have chops there, but they play that character well. That's why they get hired. Sure. And it's just like Alan Maslany, or however you say her name, She-Hulk.
Tatiana Maslany.
She's a great actress.
She is a great actress, and she's
a great actress.
Like, she got famous from TV, but like the thing is that her chops comedically are so good. It's like, of course you're gonna be She-Hulk, right? But at the same time, they ruined that characterization in that show for what it. Because I watched through She-Hulk again, and I'm one of those people that liked She-Hulk for what it was, because I didn't think it was gonna be an action-packed. I didn't believe that. I knew it was going to be a sitcom, but it's just the way she plays She-Hulk. I want to see her outside of whatever the crap they were trying to do there. I need to see her in an Avengers element, because her character and Jennifer, her character would be so good in so many different scenarios, just playing off of people, and that's it. But yes, to Chronicle's point, like, all those people were like, that's why they got hired. I don't think
for sure.
The TV had anything to do with it.
That's one thing the MCU's been great at when it comes to like casting. The reason why I said they've proven with this movie that their TV characters can work on the big screen is because if you think about Phase 1 through 3, we didn't have any MCU TV shows. We had Marvel TV shows, and Marvel Television and Marvel Studios were two separate entities.
True.
So they never really crossed paths like that. Like, it was super rare if a movie character would show up on a TV show, or a TV show character would show up in a movie.
But the best one just owned his TV show and owned in a movie. Like, Charlie Cox is Daredevil. Like, I cannot see anybody else in that role.
I'll say this, though. I'm still waiting for Phil Coulson, Clark Gregg, to show up.
He's coming back in Secret Wars. They already...
Yeah, more than likely.
He better.
Yeah.
I just need something. But that's before we get to
Before we get to the Secret Wars.
The Thunderbolts. Like, I love the fact that we have a John Walker that can come from Falcon and Winter Soldier and can be in a film and still hold his own, even though he's unlikable. Like, he can still hold his own as far as character work.
Yeah.
Yelena is just
she's so fun.
Gem. Her and David Harbour are like
she's so
her and David Harbour are like the best parts of this film for me. I do agree. I wish Bucky would have did more. But I get why he was kind of like the OG of the squad. Like, we didn't really need more from him.
Bro was a trusted advisor.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really need more, but it would have been nice to see more. But at the same time, we've seen his backstory throughout the whole first three phases.
It's funny how
Mans has been around for... Yeah. Oh, dude, actually, to be honest, his entrance in the movie was fantastic. I loved it.
Facts.
To be honest, like, that was like, oh hell yeah, here we go.
When they got, I laughed so hard because they were like, they really think he's there to
yeah, they're like, Bucky. He's like, oh no, dude.
What was I about to say? random side note. Shout out to Genuine for getting that sync bag.
Hey, yo.
Wait, what song?
Huh?
What song? I didn't notice. I didn't pay attention.
Pony
Where?
in the limousine.
Bro,
Oh, that was
When he
one of the
turned
songs that he just said, got it. No, I think, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though.
Genuine.
blocked it out of
No,
his
I know
mind
Genuine.
mentally. He was like,
I do know
he blocked
Genuine.
it out of his mind mentally. He was
Dude.
all like, that didn't happen. That scene didn't happen.
This goes back.
That's a
this
She-Hulk
goes back-
scene. That's a
Hold
She-Hulk
on.
scene.
This goes back to what I said in our chat when I said that I wasn't connecting with the soundtrack, and like overall, just the overall
I get it.
soundtrack, right?
I can see that.
And
yeah.
I was like not. I realized that because like people were posting tweets about like soundtrack pieces and all this stuff, and I was like, I just went back and I listened to it. I'm just like, wow, these sound great. Like out of context, but in context, I was just like not paying attention. So that's why I'm just like, I don't think I was really paying attention to the music or anything. I was just like, story, characters, what's gonna happen, and that's basically it. So
Nah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
saying,
one
I
of the
think you have
funniest
to pay
scenes.
attention to the soundtrack in every.
That was
journey.
one of the
Like,
funniest scenes, though, bro. That was like, that's what
Facts.
made
Yeah.
that whole
That's
thing
true.
like
Limo
hilarious.
scene.
that is
funny.
true. That is true. Oh, the limousine scene was great. I think overall, just like this whole movie was just well put together.
Very
You
well
know,
put
and
together.
and again, like the emphasis on mental health was really great, and I think
Yeah.
that's something that like, especially like we said, like the Yelena and the David and
And in Marvel, they
Red
never
Guardian
really
scene was
do
really
anything
great.
like that too. Which
Yeah.
again, which is what makes this something unorthodox that they
yeah. Can I also point out Lewis Pullman as Sentry? He plays like that wounded puppy kind of character very, very well. Like you feel genuinely so bad for Bob. Like he's been
Do you
through
feel
a
like-
lot.
Do you feel like Mr. Yoon would have played him like maybe like a
am not
jerk or something?
familiar. I'm not familiar with his work, so I don't know.
I know he has
You never
the
seen,
chops to do it, but I don't. After
You've
seeing,
You've
Seen
seen
what?
whatchamacallit, right? Just Raise, the zombie show?
yeah, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, yeah.
Oh,
Seen
yeah.
that. You've seen him in that. Do you think
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you
I
think
know
he
he has
would
the chops to do that, but it's gonna sound weird, but I feel like Steven Yeun, he has the chops to go there because even on like Beef, the Netflix show Beef with him and that other Asian lady, I think it's Ali Wong. He goes to like different dark places in that show, which is kind of funny because of the whole scenario behind that show. But I just feel like he's so likable. Like he just has a certain quality where it's like you root for Steven Yeun when you see him in stuff. Like it's just
which
like
would
yeah,
have
that's
probably
Steven
been
Yeun.
perfect for Bob if he had played Bob. Like
I don't know. I feel like Bob works with Lewis Pullman because he has that kind of.
and you're rooting for him. Which is my point. Like it would have worked with Steven Yeun.
I don't know. I feel like Lewis Pullman did a good job.
I don't know. Yeah,
I wasn't really I wasn't
I
really
didn't say
rooting
that
for
he did a
Sentry.
bad
though.
job. I'm just
I
saying.
know, yeah.
I think
I thought that like Lewis like really pulled out like the emotional part of it and like just
Yeah.
you could see the brokenness in him and that was like
his
really
That part.
face.
yeah,
His face
That part.
is
Yeah, the
is like,
face is
he's
very
really
expressive.
good at. Yeah.
very expressive. So I think that's something
Well,
that like really
little-
added to.
The little speech that he gave Valentina when he
Oh,
was
that was
like,
hilarious.
I'm supposed to be all, where she was all like, yeah, go and make sure that they're dead or whatever. And he was all like, no, why?
Yeah, why should
I was all like,
why should
yes,
I listen to you?
yes,
I'm like,
why?
yeah,
Why should
yeah.
you listen to
I
me?
mean, that to be honest, right?
And she was so cocky. She was so cocky.
was.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why
she
she
thought
was
she could
on.
control it because she thought that she was gonna be like a motherly, like a maternal figure to him, and like try to like coerce him into doing things and just like gaslight him and whatever. And he's just like, nah, like
She genuinely was just like,
I
why?
got powers,
It's
man.
like,
what do
it
you
was like a,
mean?
it's like a kid. You know, it's
Said I'm
like a
stronger than the
kid.
Avengers.
You know, like when kids like first start, like, well, you have kids, just raised, like, you know, when little ones start gaining their own little independence, and they're just like, no, and they're just all like, I don't want it. You're just like, you know, you're gonna do it, because and that's what it reminded me of, because I was like, oh god, this is that scenario, but if the kid had crazy super,
Right.
Yeah.
Once the
Yeah.
kid
Like,
realizes
what
he's the adult in the room, it's just like,
like,
wait a minute.
oh no,
Yeah.
I don't have to do
oh
this.
no.
Yeah.
When he picked her up and just like, I was like, this
Oh,
is getting
thanks.
overwhelmingly violent. This is not a Marvel movie. This is not a. This is the
I
boys.
just,
This is the boys.
Yeah, for real. I just want to take this moment to shout out my Indian sister, Geraldine Vishwanathan.
Oh, is that
who
the
plays-
assistant?
Wait, hold on.
The
Wait
assistant.
a minute. Wait a minute.
She's
Wait
so
a minute.
good.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Shorty name is Geraldine.
Yeah,
Hey, it's Geraldine.
yeah.
I didn't even hear that. That is the oldest, blackest name I've ever heard. We
Hey,
got.
bro.
What is up with Indians using old black names?
Indian,
Sheila,
black, combining. You know what I'm saying?
Teresa, Geraldine.
Geraldine is crazy work. Shout out to her though. She killed it. She
Okay,
killed
look,
it.
I will give you, because I don't know what kind of Indian she is, but with that last name,
Black Indian.
no, with that last name, I think she's Tamil. Tamil is like the state right above where I'm from. So I'm looking this up in real time. Okay, she is Australian, but
She's
she's
Australian.
but
Is it close to? Is it
no,
close to
she's
Africa?
Tamil. She is Tamil. She is Tamil because most of these, like, we call them Tamarins, like they have these kind of names, and so like especially they have some really anglicized names and stuff. So Geraldine,
I know you were
is
trying
not
to give
an
her
uncommon-
flowers. I know you were trying to give her flowers, but that is the oldest, blackest name
Hey, look, bro.
that
Shout
anybody
out to her
could
though.
ever
She did
think.
kill it.
You said
She
you
killed
She
it.
did
said-
kill it.
You said Florence Pugh is fine. She fine too. Just saying.
She's
All right,
fine.
anyway.
First of all,
I didn't say.
y'all
I'm
not
not
gonna
going
keep
to divert
disrespecting
from that.
ghosts
She
like
is
that.
fine.
Huh?
What?
Say y'all not gonna keep disrespecting ghosts like that.
Oh no! Yeah.
Nobody's
I mean, no.
disrespecting her.
Good. Listen, man. This is
She's
a
fine.
very good looking cast. Okay, overall, this is a
You
very
gotta
good
say it
looking
like,
cast. All
like
these
it's an
people.
obligation.
She is.
She's fine.
She's
All these-
fine. Like,
Every single person in this team is a very beautiful and handsome person. So, but anyway, yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry when Florence Pugh just looks at the screen. I'm.
Florence Pugh is a great
can't.
actress, though. I will give
you
it that.
clearly watched
So is
Thunderbolts
David
for the
Harbour.
plot.
Well,
for
he's
the
an
plot.
actor, but yeah.
Well, no, I totally did. I absolutely did. For the
Oh
plot.
man, I think
But
with the way that like Allegra basically spun this whole thing, and now it's like the new Avengers and all of that. I mean, obviously, well, let's
That was
talk about the
hilarious.
post credits. Let's talk about the post credit scene, which is number one, the most important one.
Allegra.
Is David Harbour, in the cereal aisle, trying to pitch the cereal brand or
Who's
whatever.
Allegra? Is that the
DeFontaine,
secretary?
Contessa Allegra DeFontaine, whatever her, Valentina, whatever.
Oh, I was
Valentina.
like Valentina.
Sorry,
Don't
I
use
said
one of the
Allegra.
middle names. That's like
Sorry, yeah.
That was hilarious.
what?
though, the way
To
she
be-
twisted
to be-
that at the end. 'Cause
Yeah,
I just
it was
knew that
hilarious.
was about to be a rap.
But
As soon as
to
Ray
be
Garvey
honest,
turned
it
and
was
said,
gonna be a rap. They were about
To
to
be
kill it.
I'm
honest,
Nicholas.
to be honest though, Valentina's name is so cool that you could use any of them, and like it's so special.
Yeah. Her
You know?
backstory's kind of sad, but
It is sad.
her name
but
is definitely cool.
You
I
see
like-
why she's so messed up, but
Yeah, I like that they kind of moved a little bit more towards what her character is in the comics, because her character in the comics is just she's like one of the soldiers. She has a lot of different skills and stuff like that too. So, with a piece of that, she took down that one soldier. I was like, oh wow, they actually let her do some choreography.
good.
That's kind of crazy. So I
Facts.
was like,
So-
yeah.
let's talk about the post credit scene though. Would you eat that box of Wheaties?
First of all, if an odd-looking white man just came up to me and handed me a
With
box of Wheaties,
With a corn stash.
This is the most important. This is the most important post credit scene out of the
Bro,
both of them. All right,
I'm out.
I'm just saying.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I beg to differ,
Get this
Prodigal.
man
All
out
right,
of
no,
here.
that's what I was talking about. So, the second post-credit scene, the tag scene,
Can't believe-
14 months later, I guess this is how Doomsday starts? Not starts. I guess it's a scene from
They
Doomsday.
didn't say that officially, but they said this is the point in where it would start if they were going to do that, because it's more like, because I guess the Russos directed that scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I was kind of wondering how they were going to go about that when Sam was told to start the Avengers over in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, this was because Valentina had to, twist that whole thing and she had to come up with something quick, right? So obviously, we all kind of see, anybody who is any kind of comic buff, any knowledge on this kind of stuff, we all saw a name change coming, especially because of the asterisk being at the end. We just didn't know if it was going to be New Avengers, Dark Avengers. They're going to take off the asterisk and just be the Thunderbolts, and then
First of all, this
Ross was
rollout
going to
is
come
crazy.
in. Dude, the fact that they're going around changing the name of the movie
Yeah.
and all
After
the
the movie's
posters
been
is
released is crazy.
crazy.
Yeah,
That
I
rollout
don't,
is
Insane.
crazy.
so
Like, I
do
think
y'all
they're
think
going to
that's
have
the
a
right
tussle.
move? Do y'all think that's a right move?
I think it's.
I don't
think
feel like it's-
great. I don't think it's bad.
I just feel like it's hella creative. Like, I don't feel like
Yeah.
it's the wrong move, but at the same time, nobody's ever done this before.
No, that's
and
true.
they're building,
No.
they're building hype, bro.
I
Like
guess
this is more hype on top of the fact that the movie's actually good.
I guess my
Right.
question is like, do you think they did it too soon?
A week after release, I want to say yeah, but because we've never seen this before from anybody else, I don't.
Nobody.
I can't
why-
say
how
yes
can
or
you
no.
say it? How can you say it's yes? How can you say yes or no to that when you like? That's why you can't say yes or no because what do you have to gauge?
That's what I'm
on
saying.
it? Nobody
That's what
has
I'm
done this like this.
That is true.
People have changed names
Hold on, guys,
to
give me
movies
1 second.
long after the fact, but they haven't done it this quickly and
Right.
did an entire marketing thing where they just go around tearing the they had Sebastian Stan going putting up
Walking around
posters.
tearing down
Yeah.
posters. Like, that's
With the
I
new
crazy.
did see
Avengers.
that. I was just like, yo, that's crazy. No,
Man.
I think no. Obviously, yes. Like they have changed movies. I think Star Wars 1, right?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
changed. But my thing was like, is it too soon? You know, like because I feel like, but I also feel like there was a lot of speculation that because of the asterisk, like it's going to spark a lot of discussion. I just feel like they could have just waited one more week or a couple more weeks for like
Nah.
people to see it, and
I
then
think
But if you wait a couple
I think-
more weeks, you kind of lose hype. So it's just like
that's what I'm
the
saying.
movie
people-
This is not,
people
this
would
is
know
not
at
the
this
generation. This is
let's
not the
do this.
generation to wait. This is not the
Right.
generation to wait like that. It's like, and you know this, like because you're a musician. Like when you put out a song, there will undoubtedly be that one person that comments the day after the song and be all like, "All right, what else you got?"
it's like, sir.
This is not that generation. If they had waited another week, people would have been all like, "Oh, okay, why are you doing that?" But now, since it's like fresh in everybody's heads, like, "Oh yeah, they're the new Avengers now," and the way that they did the ending before, like, during the credits was genius, showing like
Yeah.
what people thought of like them being called the new Avengers. Because we
Facts.
all know who the new Avengers actually are. If you've ever
Yeah.
seen a comic book cover or whatever of the new Avengers, we know who they're supposed to be, and that's not them. None of the heavy
Right.
hitters are on that team except for probably Bucky. And
Right.
it's just like, I think that credit scene kind of solidified the fact that they're feeding into the fact that they knew that would be controversial. Them ripping the
Facts.
name off. Like, they're feeding into that because now it's going to be like, are you team faux New Avengers or team Avengers, like OG people
Team
who...
Avengers or Team New Avengers?
Yo,
Yo, watch.
like,
They're
you know,
about to like announce the next.
It's about to be
movie.
dope.
They're about to announce Civil War 2. That's crazy.
Dude, and I would be completely fine on
like
that.
they're like this is a
I'd be
complete,
completely-
or like they make it like a Disney Plus series, Civil War 2. No, I'm just kidding. No,
No, don't do that.
no, I'm kidding.
Don't do that.
But no, like they announced like
We're
a
trying to
secret
forget.
project that they've been working on. Like they think like, oh, y'all thought we were working on Doomsday. Nah, fam, there's like 3 movies we're working on: Civil War 2,
I would
Doomsday,
cancel
and
my
Secret Wars.
subscription. I would cancel my Disney Plus subscription.
No, I'm talking like if you have a movie.
I
I'm
would
saying if you,
publicly
like
cuss out Kevin Feige.
no, if they make it a movie, not a Disney Plus series, but like I'm saying, like they have like Civil War 2, Doomsday, and then Secret Wars. But anyway, well, Spider-Man in
Dude,
between too.
The
But
reveal, though. The reveal. We all knew that they were coming, but Fantastic Four being in our orbit, basically. Or their orbit.
I like how they did it because the nerds knew, like we knew,
Oh, yeah.
that
I jumped up.
they were in a separate universe, which is why the different characters that were introduced in the trailers and stuff like that were the way that they were. And we knew something was going to happen, that they were going to end up in the 616. So it's just like, to see it on a post-credit scene, it's just like, okay, Now I need to know what's happening. So it just like adds fuel to the fire of just like, okay,
well,
now I need to know what happened.
That brings up the point of, because people are all like, well, doesn't that just ruin the ending of Fantastic Four? No, because if we're paying attention, in the trailer they talk about the world exploding. They even have like a thing about the world exploding. So it's just kind of like one of those things where they already prepared us enough with the trailer without giving all of it away.
Right.
And still set us up right in Thunderbolts, because we know, okay, this is how they end up in our universe, but we don't know how specifically.
Yeah.
Right. And
like, we don't know if they just.
We also don't know who's on the ship.
We don't know who's on the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's their ship.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking.
No.
I was like, that does not have
be on
to
the
be
ship.
the full. Exactly, 100. Thank you. Oh yes. I was like, I was crazy for thinking this through. I thought I was crazy for like, nah. Because here's the thing, right? Because I'm like, if Doom were to arrive, like he would come on his own ship, but nah, bro was smart, and he's gonna be covert.
I'm mad because this makes one of Prodigal's theories.
Why you gotta expose my government like that, my guy?
And you're not the one that edits the thing. I'm gonna have to find it and edit it. But that makes one of the friggin' theories actually pan out from what you said earlier about Doom possibly coming with them from. But what was your initial theory on Doom and how he got to the 616? Did you think, because you said something about him possibly, because you said something about him killing Loki or something.
Oh yeah, no, my theory was that like Doomsday will start off with. Here's the thing, Eric Voss said that same thing. Eric Voss also supported my thing. I was like, that's why I sent you a link. I'm like, I am not tripping. Dude, it'll be so dope.
With Voss. I just hate the fact that he calls White Vision. It's spectral vision.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, like everyone wants that scene where Doom rips out Thanos' spine, right? From the comics, like people want that scene to be. Dude, I'm like, what if they recreate that, but with Loki? Not as violent, but Doom starts off with going straight to the Citadel at the end of time, and going past that.
And that's where they're coming from?
Yeah. That's where I thought, like, I was like, he's going straight into it. Yeah.
Do you think they would let them go that dark in an Avengers film, though?
Bro, with a name like Doomsday...
It would be fire if they did.
With a name like Doomsday and playing off of that name...
They would figure out a way to make it... They would figure out a way to make it less graphic, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like...
Going that dark.
The impact and the darkness will be there, because they also had to establish Robert Downey Jr. as like a terrifying force.
Yeah,
they need to do it because people are going to be like, "This is Iron Man with a different costume."
So that's I have a theory.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our villain in Thunderbolts was a meth head, by the way. So yes, they would go that dark.
But they didn't show him doing the meth. So it's like,
but he talked about it, and he loved doing it when he was doing it.
Speaking of the way I love the way
I'm
I love the way
that
they showcase.
Like the Void didn't give him a meth pipe during the fight. It's like
that'd be hilarious.
You want it. You know you want it.
That'd be hilarious. But I love the way they illustrated the Void, like when David Harbour when Red Guardian saved the little girl.
Yeah,
and then she just disappeared. It was like, oh snap.
Oh yeah, no, that's the scene everyone's talking about. He's like, hey, you're safe now. Really? Dude.
It was like, yo.
You're safe now. Just shadow.
Why am I?
What happened?
I was like, dang, they did that to the baby?
That's crazy.
But no,
people laughed. Did
I
you
got
laugh?
a theory.
I laughed.
I did laugh.
Did you laugh? Yo, people around me laughed too, and I was just like, "That's kind of messed up."
You're safe now.
Boom.
But no, I got a Doomsday theory. So I feel like it is going to be the Fantastic Four or some semblance of the Fantastic Four on their ship, and I feel like Doom is going to end up where Monica Rambeau ended up
with the X-Men character.
Mm-hmm. Or like in that universe. I feel like both of them are gonna escape their world, but they're going to end up in separate places. And we're going to see how terrifying Doom is versus the X-Men instead of versus the people of 616. That's my
okay. I think like it can go, for me anyway, it can go either way. It's, you know, it's really like Fantastic Four coming in on that ship. Like, I'm cool with that. Or it's Doom. Now, I feel like it's Doom. It doesn't have to be like that's the way that it starts, but I feel like it's Doom coming in on that ship. But I still stick with the opening of Doomsday being like he goes after Loki first. I just think.
What if he just stowed away?
That's it.
What if somehow he just stowed away on?
That could be possible too.
Like,
but
what if he has like a little ship on the outside of the Fantastic Four ship, and he just
I can see that.
breaks away?
Maybe.
I really feel like Loki's not going to be super intricate or integral to the story until Secret War.
I'm still against Prodigal. I don't.
You're against me and Eric Voss.
Again, I have no qualms with Voss.
So you have qualms with me? What did I do?
Look, because Voss is proven.
I'm about to be
Voss
proven
has
too.
hundreds of
This is gonna
videos.
be the start. This is gonna be the start of my track record.
Voss has hundreds of videos.
Me and Eric, we are gonna go.
Series.
We are gonna have
And
a
I don't-
head-to-head. We're gonna have a versus battle on in terms of theories.
Anyway, what do you guys rate this movie? Because it was a fantastic movie. Me personally, I haven't seen it again since I saw it the first time. I'm gonna see it with my homies, but the first score I gave it was an 8.5, clean. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I agree. 8.5.
I gave it an 8.5, but I will say this is not the best movie since Endgame. It's
Okay, so
great
Shang-Chi. Let's go to Shang-Chi for you.
Because now we've seen it. Shang-Chi
I
had a blaring plot.
Not
hole.
Shang-Chi. Sorry. I completely forgot about Guardians. I forgot about No Way Home.
Yeah, I was saying, I got like 4 movies.
Sorry.
Above,
Yeah, I don't know.
In the clip.
Ignore me.
And
Sorry.
Shang-Chi's at the bottom of that list. It was a good movie, but it's at the bottom of that list.
Are you putting Guardians?
I'm going To me, Guardians is probably the best.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably go.
No Way Home.
I feel like that's the nostalgia choice to go No Way Home. But if we're talking about origin films, the character I didn't know about, didn't care about, I gotta go Shang-Chi 2.
Okay.
I gotta go Shang-Chi 2 because they made me care about Shang-Chi, and I'm anticipating when he's on screen next. Like, I want to see Shang-Chi in more stuff. I didn't even know who this brother was before that film, so I gotta get him number 2. I'll go No Way Home 3, and then I'll go Wakanda Forever 4. I got all those over Thunderbolts.
But Prodigal, what was your score for the movie?
I would 8.5, and I would do Guardians, No Way Home, Thunderbolts, Shang-Chi, Wakanda Forever.
Really?
That's fair.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not giving 4 because this is the end of the episode. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
You sir
for
are
tuning in. Just Rays, can you take us out of this one?
You sir are a scoundrel.
Maybe the next episode.
You gonna leave us on an island like that? That's crazy.
Maybe on the next.
But we
On the
get
next
those in the geeks. We discuss geekdom. We're 3 independent artists that do what we do. We love geeky things, comic booky stuff, anime. We finally got Prodigal to watch some anime, so we'll probably have him in an anime discussion soon. But that was our review on the Thunderbolts. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Tap in. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And enjoy. And we out.